I was in favor of tax credits for yeshiva schools, that they're a very important part of the landscape of our education in New York City. And I would support that in any way possible that I could as mayor. Thank you. You know, in the mid-'80s, Ed Koch said I was doing a mitzvah. And to be honest with you, in those days, I didn't know what a mitzvah was. But a woman had died in Grand Central Terminal of starvation. She literally had died. She starved to death in the richest country, in the richest city in the world. So I went there as a citizen to find out why. And I found like 1,500 homeless people living actually in and around the terminal. And so a friend of mine and I started feeding people there every night at 10 o'clock. I did that for 700 nights in a row. I wasn't married, and believe me, if you go to Grand Central and feed people at 10 o'clock every night, you don't have a social life. But I actually happened to meet my wife, who was a screenwriter for Beverly Hills, doing a story on somebody there. And she and I together got married and started the Ready, Willing, and Able program. And you see the guys in the blue uniforms around the city with the American flag on their sleeve. And the Doe Fund Ready, Willing, and Able program came about as me listening to the folks that I was feeding. What they said was that they appreciated the sandwich, but what they wanted was a room and a job to pay for it. A room and a job to pay for it. So I became convinced that they wanted to work. So, you know, I was a pain in Koch's posterior as an advocate for the homeless. And he said, what do you want? Let's give him what he wants. He'll fail, and then we won't have to listen to him anymore. Well, we were an overnight success, and since 1990, we've done $750 million in revenue. We put over $250 million into the pockets of the homeless folks that we've helped, mostly formerly incarcerated men coming home from prison that need an opportunity. Now, what does that mean in this campaign? This campaign is about a real clear choice for the future of our city. And I see here the future leadership of the city of New York, and I congratulate them and you for that. But for my 2 cents, here's the clear choice that we have as a city. And it goes with the top thing here, taxes too high. All right. So I have, for these past 25 years, worked with the hardest to serve people in our city to help get employment for them, and they can get jobs even with all these barriers to employment. We've always paid above the minimum wage, and they get jobs above $11 and change when they graduate from our program. We have now a choice to make, a clear choice, between the entitlement society, and the opportunity society. A society that takes all of the taxes that we can possibly put our hands on and redistributes that wealth to other people, or we honor the American dream and the economic ladder that has upward mobility with people starting at the bottom and climbing that. Equality. They want all income to be equal. That's not where we are as a country. That isn't why I came to New York City 45 years ago. I didn't come here to get Section 8 housing, or to wait to be on the dole, or to get a handout. I came here because this is a city of opportunity, in a country of opportunity, where the sky's the limit. We have an 8.4% unemployment rate in our city. In the Bronx, it's above 14%. For men of color, it starts to get to 30%. For these disconnected youth, it's off of the charts. But how are we going to solve that problem? By taking your money and giving it to people, or giving them an opportunity to work? Okay? You elect me mayor, it'll be the latter. They'll work. Because they want to work. And I've proven that they want to work. We just have to invest in these high crime areas and not stop talking about stop, question, and frisk as if that is the problem. The problem is the underlying economics of these high crime areas, where we have to invest, and we have to provide education, opportunity, careers, technical training, and move people to jobs. Now it's really simple, because you see on the television the leading Democratic candidate saying, tax the rich, tax the rich. Well, that's division, ladies and gentlemen. Lady and gentlemen. That's division. We don't want that. We want something that brings our city together. And all of us working together, we can do that. I think you have the point. Thank you so much for inviting me today. And I look forward to being your mayor, and I would like your vote. Thank you.
Can you elaborate on what you were referring to, Bill Deblasio, about taxing the rich?
Well, I think that it's a clear choice in our city between the entitlement society, the handout society, and the hand-up society. Never before have we faced such a crucial choice, where tax the rich is essentially dividing our city. What we have to do is create jobs where people pay payroll tax, and that's the answer to the future of our city. Not handouts, but a hand-up.
Okay, now Bill Thompson, do you like what he stands for on the Democratic side?
Well, you know, I've known Bill, and we've been friends for many, many years, and I think he's a perfectly reasonable man, but I believe that I have better qualifications to be mayor of the city. In the Republican race, John Catsimatidis has gone negative against Loda, and Loda's gone negative.
Leaving you alone.
And but that's my plan, isn't it? That you know, they attack each other, and I be the third person.
Okay, now you mentioned downstairs about high-paying jobs, $11 an hour. Would you work for $11 an hour?
Well, our graduates get jobs that are $11 an hour. I would like to create higher-paying jobs as mayor of the city of New York and train people in vocational training and technical training, which they sorely need to be able to match up to. There are hundreds of thousands of jobs for citizens of the city of New York, but there are hundreds of thousands of unemployed people who don't have the training that they need for these jobs. I would have a deputy mayor for workforce development who would coordinate the training to the unemployed.
Now, what amount would that be, though, when you say high-paying jobs?
Well, I mean, you know, we have an economic ladder, and so there are jobs at you know, salaries at every rung. But I definitely would like to see jobs, you know, beginning at $15 an hour and up, with benefits.
Okay, and one last question. Anybody tell you look a little like Mayor Bloomberg?
Well, I wish my bank account looked a little like Mayor Bloomberg, but no, you would be the first one.